Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you about the Hirudegarn support from Draftbox 6. I'm actually really excited about this stuff, guys. And real quick before we get into the cards, I do want to let you guys know that the Hirudegarn leader itself is actually really good. I've had a lot of discussion with my friends about this in recent weeks, actually before they even showed the support. And I was just saying, like, the leader, discard a battle card, draw 2, that's already a very powerful effect for filtering. It's got untap 2. We've kind of come back from this, like, untap 1, draw 1 meta we were in a few sets ago. And now we're in much more of like an untap 2 meta, where untap 2 is just so good. And the backside, you draw a card when you swing, and if you have 4 more energy, you make your opponent put a card from their hand on top of their deck, basically not allowing them to see a new card. That's still a very, very powerful effect by all standards of what a leader does in this meta. Some leaders offer removal, some leaders offer their own forms of hand control, and Hirudegarn honestly seems like a great leader, and a lot of the stuff that we'll read today is pretty much posed for that leader. So if you guys are new here, definitely subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. If you want to help the channel out, go down in the description. There's 4 million ways you could do that, one of which, go to TCG Player, pre-order the stuff you want using my link down there. It really does help out a lot, guys. That being said, we'll get started right away. So Trunks the Last Hope, we have a 2-drop green unison, 15k, normal stats. When this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards when your cost of 3 or less and KO it. Not bad. Auto once per turn, when one of your opponent's battle cards is KO'd, add a marker to this card. So basically on play, assuming they have a valid target, you get a marker. And then -4, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Very meh unison. I mean, I guess if you're constantly killing things, it's kind of neat, but there's so many better 2-drops. Yes, they are SRs. Yes, this is a decent budget unison, but I wouldn't really play it. We read this card in a previous video, so I won't go over it again. Son Goku, Power to Protect. We have a 2-drop, 15k, counter attack, negate the attack, and play this card. Auto, if your leader card is green when this card's played, choose one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it. Definitely good for draft. You're definitely going to want to use this against certain unisons in the draft format. Maybe it's playable and constructed for certain decks. Maybe if you're playing like an older green deck like Dredge Goku or something like that that's a little bit older, you need some more ways to remove markers via effects, but not super in love with this card. A Goku Vanilla, very cool. We have an SR, Gohan Hidden Might, Deflect, Unique, Double Strike. Permanent, when he lives 3 or less, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3. So it's 2-drop, 25k at 3 or less life. And 3 or less actually isn't too low of like a threshold to be at nowadays, especially with the great defenses that we have. If your leader card is green, when this card's played, choose one. Choose an opponent's battle card, ignoring barrier, KO it, or choose a opponent's unison card and remove a marker from it. I think that second effect could maybe remove 2 markers for, the original cost of this card, but the fact that it reduces itself to a 2-drop actually seems great. I actually like this card a lot. 2-drop, remove anything with barrier, later in the game, of course, but I think it's actually very, very good. Deflect means always hitting, double strike, 25k, great stats. I love the card. 2-drop, 20k, kind of cool. Sun Goten, Reckless Ability. We have a 2-drop, 10k counter attack. Negate the attack, play this card, then choose any number of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 2 or less, and that adds up to a total energy of 3 or less and KO them. Not bad for actually a 2 energy counter attack that can remove a little bit more than like Shocking Death Ball or Dormant can. Obviously Dormant has a much better effect in general, but that's pretty cool for the removal aspect. Sun Goten, Boundless Curiosity, 2-drop, 15, auto, choose up to 2 cards in your hand and discard them. When this card's played, draw cards equal to some of the cards that you discarded with this card. Neat combo you could do. You could play this with like the Beerus Godly Majesty and Dr. Wiro. That's like a very specific combo, I guess, but I guess it's okay for filter. I don't think there's any reason you would play this Goten over like the Gotens that came out in set 11. I mean, I guess you could technically play this from the deck with the Trunks 3-drop, where you like pay for 1 and play this, unless that specifically plays a 3-drop. I don't know if it specifically plays a 3-drop or a 15k, but either way, I don't think you'd play this Goten in any of the Goten stuff nowadays. Vegeta protecting his loved ones, 1-drop barrier. Okay, this is the Mai from all the other colors. We talked about it. I don't like it. I don't think it's going to be that popular unless Baby really starts to take over, which I don't think will happen. So this card kind of seems pointless in printing. 1-drop Trunks, it's whatever. 3-drop Trunks, we have a Wielder of Legendary Blade. 3-drop dual attack. When this card's played from your hand, draw 1. Auto, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. When this card is KO'd by an opponent's skill, return this card from your drop area to your hand. Actually, I think quite a good draft card. I think this will actually be quite good in those green draft decks. But constructed, I don't really see a reason for it. It's not like a particularly great Trunks. What you want in Trunkses and Gotenks are particularly ones that search each other out or have some sort of really cheap effects. By 3 energy, by no means the cheap effect. You'd rather always just cast 2 and play Grim Reaper of Justice, in my opinion. Trunks Legacy of a Hero, 2-drop, 10k, counterplay, play this card, and the battle card being played is energy cost 2 or less. It's placed in the owner's drop area instead of being played. definitely not bad. This is kind of like an alternative to Dodoria if you maybe don't have a super reliable unison that can stick around the board. It also does deal with cards like Topo and other certain counterplays, but most cases you'll probably have the unison. Dodoria is probably just better, but again, in draft, this is actually a really good card. SS3 Gotenks Full Throttle, Double Strike, Union Fusion for 3. When this card's played, choose an opponent's battle card and KO it. Definitely not better than Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper is actually pretty much the same card, except it costs less and you draw 2, and yeah, it's just pretty much better. But this is a cool card once again in draft. If you are drafting a lot of Gotenks and Trunkses, you can obviously fuse into this. Gotenks Reckless Ability, 2 drop 15. When this card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards when it costs 3 or less and KO it. Not bad once again for draft, not great for constructed. Great Saiyaman 2 Budding Hero, 3 drop 15k auto. When this card's played from your hand, play up to 1 skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 or less from your deck or drop area. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Not bad. Always bringing out things for free is always generally kind of good. Activate main, pay 1, choose one of your skillless battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less, and return it to the owner's hand. Play this card from your hand, and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. So some more skillless support. They're actually giving us more skillless support that doesn't necessarily have to do with 1 drop 10ks for like Bonds of Friendship Goku to play, which is actually kind of neat. Tapion Hero of Legend, we have a 3 drop 20k Deflect. When this card's played, add up to 1 Hirudegarn, Minosha, or Hoi from deck to hand. Then shuffle, auto, choose a card in your hand and discard it. When your opponent combos, you may place 1 card from the combo area in the owner's drop area if you do negate this skill. So one thing we're going to see a lot here is discarding effects of your own volition, where you have to discard your own cards to do things. And keep in mind, we do have Minosha from, I think it's like set 4 or whatever it's from. If your leader's a Phantom Demon, when you pitch it, you add the Hirudegarn the Wanderer to your hand. But keep in mind, I mean, you can only play 4 Minosha, which with all this discard, you might actually want to play 4 Minosha. But you can only resolve Minosha so many times before you either stop drawing them or you've gone through all the legs in the deck. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of discard, but you're only going to be able to use so much of it to your advantage. Although, of course, unless you do play like Beerus Godly Majesty, which actually might be a good card in the deck. We'll keep going. Tapion Unsealed Hero, 2 drop 10k unique. Choose one of your Hirudegarn cards and KO it. At the end of a battle where this card's used in a combo, play this card in rest mode. So basically, a free way to pop your own Hirudegarns, which in this set is actually going to be quite relevant. I don't think it's so relevant for the blue stuff that we have from older Hirudegarn, but we'll keep going. Minosha Unsealed Hero, 2 drop 15k. When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, choose one. Choose up to 1 Hirudegarn card with energy cost of 3 from your deck or hand and play it. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it, or draw a card. I don't think we've gotten to too much of the stuff that you really need to play in the deck, but actually, here's one of them. We did read it, but I do want to talk about this again because we are specifically talking about Hirudegarn in this video and the merit of these cards. So 6 drop 25k critical EX Evolve Hirudegarn, the energy cost of 4, which we know we have from previous sets, and also I believe there's one in this set as well. Actually, yeah, it's right underneath this one. So auto, when this card is removed from battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, play 1 Hiru with an energy cost of 4 or 9 from your deck or hand. Again, does not specify color, so you can play the old 9 drop. Shuffle your deck if you look through it, and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. If you didn't play a battle card, choose 2 cards in your opponent's hand and discard them. Activate battle, KO this card, choose up 2 of your opponent's battle cards and KO them. So you have your own way to KO it. Firstly, it's very easy to play this. You EX Evolve it for free over the 4 drop, which we'll have to read the 4 drop and see how it comes into play. But anyways, excellent card, synergizes well with the old stuff, and I really do think that blue-green Hiru is actually going to be a very, very good deck in draft box 6 format, but we'll have to keep reading. 4 drop 20k auto, when your opponent combos, you may place 1 card from your opponent's combo area in its owner's drop area. If you do negate this skill for the turn, that's actually great. Doesn't cost you a card from your hand, which is nice. Auto, if you have 3 or more energy, when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, play 1 Hiru with energy cost of 6 from your deck or hand. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. If you didn't play a battle card, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and discards it. So this is like the weird thing here where it says you kind of have to play a Hiru. So like if you can't play one from the deck, do you have to verify with your opponent? I mean, I know the deck is a secret area, but how do you confirm that you've run out of copies in your deck, right? I don't know. That's like a weird ruling thing. I've never seen something like that before, but maybe they'll have to clear it up in like the FAQ and stuff. Hiru, the Phantom Limbs, 3 drop 15k. When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO, choose 1. Choose up to 1 Hiru with energy cost of 4 from your deck or hand. Play it. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Your opponent chooses a card in their hand and discards it. Not bad. We have to see if there's a way to get this guy into play though, because I really don't think you want to be casting him for 3. 1 drop Hoi Hidden Ambition. We have auto, when this card's played, draw 1. Great turn 1 play for Hiru. Auto, choose 1 of your green Hiru or Minosha cards and KO it. When this card is used in the combo, it gets plus 5,000 combo for the battle. And that's okay. I mean, maybe you do want to pop some of these heroes mid-battle if you can, because like if they're in rest mode, they'll play out a new hero which actually can be used for combo power. So that actually doesn't seem too bad. The Brave Sword, activate main, choose one. If your leader card is green, choose up to one of your opponent's using cards and remove a marker from it. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards when it costs 4 or less and KO it, or you may choose one of your green hero cards and KO it. If you do, draw one. So it does have the drawback of being a somewhat clunky extra card, but you do get the benefit of popping your Hirudegarns basically on command for very cheap for 1 energy. So it does seem relatively good there. Sealed Music Box, we have a filled card. When you activate this card, look at the top 7, add up to 1 Hero, Tapion, Monosha, or Green Unison with specified cost of 1 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Activate main, place this card in the owner's drop area by paying a green. Choose 1 Tapion or Monosha with energy cost of 3 or less in your hand, and then play it. Okay, that's actually really good, because we read some of the more expensive Monoshas and Tapions, and you really don't want to be casting them for 2 or 3. When you can use this card and cast them for basically 2, because you had to pay 1 to cast the Music Box and paying 1 to get the activate main, but when you play Music Box, you basically get to replace it. That does seem relatively good in my opinion. Wrath of the Dragon, we have a 2-drop counterplay. If your leader's green, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 2 or less, it's placed in the owner's drop area instead of being played. Then choose 1 card in your opponent's hand and discard it. Okay, so this is actually a pretty good merit when you compare something like Dodoria, like we talked about earlier in this video with that, I think it was a Goten, or no, I think it was a Trunks. But anyways, this card gives you the added benefit of discarding a card out of your opponent's hand, which in and of itself is quite good. Still answers Topo, does cost 1 more energy, but you get some more out of it. Once again, it is a clunky extra card, but if you play Clash Goku, this is actually some great discard fodder if it's not great in a certain matchup. Probably a side deckable card, but seems really good nonetheless. Crushing Despair, counterattack. If your leader is green or a Phantom Demon card, negate the attack, then you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, draw 1. So again, just some pretty great pluses with Monosha. So overall, what do I think about this Hirudegarn stuff? Well, they made a lot of it synergize very, very well with the old hero stuff, particularly Monosha and the old blue leader, which again, I think the old blue leader has a lot of merit in a format like this, where Untap 2 is very relevant, where its backside effect is actually relevant, because when Hero was good, it was pretty much good in Storm, right? It was pretty much good in Storm where you would kill your opponent by like turn 3 the latest. So you never got to really abuse that backside effect. With these cards basically giving you cheaper things to play out, like for instance playing this Tapion for free, or sorry, for 2 I guess from the sealed music box, this actually seems like a very good card to get your stuff started. So I'm pretty excited for the hero support. I think it's really good that it synergizes with the old stuff. I do want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.